Hey, this is Brian O'Neill, and you are rocking with Garandosiá Entertainment. Well, let's get started. People say I look like Bob Marley if he vaped. We got a gallery in here too, so I'm just letting y'all know that. All right. People say I look like if Whoopi Goldberg and Ludacris had a baby, and that baby got adopted by white people from Chapel Hill. It's cool. My name is Brian O'Neill. That's a traditional African American name. Yep. In fact, in the black community, my name means I get a lot of job interviews. Like a lot of them. I get jobs I didn't even apply for. I try to tell them, I'm like, listen, there's been a mistake. I didn't apply for this job. And that's when the CEO looks at me and says, now that's the kind of honesty we need on this team. Yeah. That's when I started working for Enron. All right. Any moms in the building? All right, glad to have some moms in the building. I've been trying to be an edgier comedian, so before coming over here, I wrote 47 abortion jokes. Oh yeah, 47 of them, baby. Yeah, but I decided I didn't want to keep them. It's my jokes, my choice. Y'all just gotta live with that, man. Now, I got a mom though. She's a nice lady. She doesn't live in Charlotte. She lives a few states away, and she's what you call a helicopter parent, but I like to call it nosy as hell. Yeah. She worries about me a lot, to the point where she'll see stuff on the news in Charlotte, and she'll call me about it. She'll hit me up and be like, "Boo, boo, it looks like it's raining down there in Charlotte. You might want to put a jacket on." Well, that sounds nice and all, but I get on it, I'm like, Mom, I am a grown-ass man. But are we talking like a windbreaker here? What are we talking? And while you're on the phone, do I have a dentist appointment tomorrow? It's all good, man. All good. I want to open a black-owned mattress company. Call it Nappy Naps. I want to open a parking garage. It's going to be family owned, and it's only going to be for disabled people. Yep. And the name of it's going to be called Parkinson's. Parkinson's. That's cool. I get it. That joke's a little shaky. We're just going to keep going. I'm glad y'all having a good time. I might be bombing on the internet. I can't tell. I can't tell. Oh, man, this is really nice. I got diagnosed recently with something called general anxiety disorder. But growing up, my friends just called it being a pussy. Like, thanks, Doc. And anxiety is interesting because it's all in your head. It's irrational thoughts. Very interesting disease. But it's hard to call out of work for something like that. Think about it. You can call out of work for diarrhea. You can call out of work for strep throat. It's very hard for anxiety. What you gonna do? Call your boss and say, "Hey, I can't make it to work because I'm scared." That's not gonna work. Your boss is gonna say, "Hey, sounds like you got anxiety, huh? Well, if you don't come to work, I'm anxious to fire your ass." Plus, we're a man short. Bob has diarrhea and strep throat. That's cool, man. All right. Another thing about me, interesting thing, I'm in my first ever interracial relationship. Yep, it's with a white woman. And yeah, I tell y'all that so you know, my credit score is up. You know? So I feel like I disappointed my people, but I can lease a Honda Civic. Yeah. And when I say my girlfriend's white, she's real white, man. You ever seen somebody so white they glow in the dark? Yeah. She goes to the beach and she's like, baby, I'm getting a tan. I said, nah, baby, you charging. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. She glows in the dark. To the point where her legs look like glow sticks. So whenever we're having sex, it looks like an air traffic controller is just guiding me in. Sometimes I like to role play. Call her vagina the cockpit. All right, that's it. That's all I'm doing.
Welcome back to Garandosiá TV here with my man Brian O'Neill. Hopefully you enjoyed his segment that he just done for us. But before we get into the interview with him, make sure you hit the subscribe, notification bell, so when we go live every Sunday, you will get the new update videos. So Brian, man, how you been doing?
Hey, man, just trying to survive through this pandemic. You know, got my first shot already of the COVID thing. So if I turn into a Ninja Turtle, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Like, you know.
I feel you on that. I got my first one too, man. It hurt a little bit in my arm. I'm not gonna lie about that.
You get the Pfeiffer?
I did.
Yeah, I got the Pfeiffer too. That seemed like the more reliable one than the other ones. I'm assuming.
I don't believe in Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, I know. They was like 66%. I was like, nah. Nah, you can still catch it on the 60%.
I mean, at least that good 85, 90%.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, you wouldn't get on a plane. It was like, this is 60 cents per chance. Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm going to need a higher odds stuff. So, yeah, Johnson & Johnson, they taking shortcuts.
So with COVID going on, even though you got your shot, I know you were waiting on the world to open back up.
Right.
How has that been affecting you with your stand-up, with you getting out to the people, with you spreading your funny to everybody?
Man, it's rough because I primarily do just stand-up comedy. Like, I don't really put, like, videos out. I don't really do stuff in front of a camera. Like, this is probably my first time doing stuff in front of camera for, like, a while. And so when they stop the live shows, it's like I don't really have nothing to do. Like, I'm writing, but you can't test out jokes if you can't go somewhere and try them out.
Right.
So the first couple of months of it, it was rough. Like, I was trying to figure out, like, what am I going to do? Like, oh, the light went out. Is that okay? Okay, all right. I thought something was going down. Hey, man, sometimes it happens, you know? It's a pandemic. Need that stimulus check, man.
Right.
Let's be honest, yo. We not gonna use that stimulus check, right, man? I already got my heart set on some things. I need some new shoes, man. Like, my bills be okay, man. They'll get the money at some point.
At some point,
you know. But yeah, it was difficult, man. And so for the last couple of months, we just been sneaking off to South Carolina doing shows because it's wide open there. Like, they wasn't even wearing masks. Like, I went into the bar, I felt like an asshole for wearing a mask. Like they looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, y'all know what's going on. Like, yeah, I'm the oddball trying to follow the rules. They ain't got no rules. Nobody was in there wearing a mask. It was over capacity. The bartender didn't have a mask on. It was wild, man. And all the Charlotte people, all the Charlotte comics, there's not a lot of South Carolina comics. We there, and we the only ones with masks on. So that's big. Like, my whole stand-up has been in South Carolina for like the last 6 months. So, that's basically it.
With me having family in South Carolina, my wife being from South Carolina, yeah, they been COVID didn't
These
exist
the
in South
COVID
Carolina.
deniers over there. They is killing their grandparents. Like, yo, y'all can just put the mask on. That's all they asking. Like,
Nothing else.
Yeah, so I kind of felt bad because I was like, I'm not. I had a few people like tell me like, "Oh, you're the reason why." And I'm like, "Nah, man. I did my best up until July. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I was holding it, and I was like, nah, I got to get out, man." So, it is what it is.
So, how long you been doing stand-up comedy, and what got you into doing it?
Man, what's the day? The 13th?
Yes.
Tomorrow is my 3-year anniversary of doing comedy. Yeah. So I got started around 2018 in March. And it was one of those things where I was turning 30. And I'm like, man, like, yeah, just like, man, what am I doing? Like, I was married and I got divorced. So I'm like, all right, the possibilities are endless now. It's like, what do you want to do? And I always wanted to do stand up. Like, people always tell me, like, you should do stand up. But I was like, I don't know, that's just something that New Yorkers do or something like that. Like, I'm just whatever. And then I found out there was a comedy open mic in Charlotte at this bar. So I went to the bar first to just like check it out, scope it out, and niggas was trash. So I was like, all right, I can at least get up here and do a little bit better. You know what I mean? So the next week I went up there and they got the sign up list. And I didn't know when you get the sign up list, you can sign up wherever you want on the list.
Okay.
But me being me, I didn't even know. I signed my name first because I was the first one. And you shouldn't go first. Like, you shouldn't go first, man. I didn't take my jacket off. I had this big ass coat on. I got like I didn't move the mic stand, so that joint is like right in front of me, and no one's paying attention to me. I'm making like when you start off, you start doing like offensive jokes, so you can say whatever you want, and like these jokes was I don't have none of those jokes now. Like they was terrible. I got maybe one. I have this joke about how, of course, I'm talking about my dick. I had this joke where I'm like, I used to masturbate as a kid, and I think my mom knew because I used to go in the bathroom for a long time. So she took the clock down up there and then just put like a picture of Jesus right over there. And I guess she thought it was supposed to stop me, but it didn't. It's like now it's weird. Whenever I see Jesus, I get a little aroused. See, like it's a weird joke and it's kind of offensive, and I don't, it's not. I mean, yeah, it's part of that story is true. She did do all that stuff, but I don't get horny when I see Jesus. Yeah, that would be weird. But right, yeah. So yeah, I did that, and then I just kept doing it, and here I am, still doing comedy. Yeah.
What was that moment, or have you had a moment being on stage where you're like, maybe that's not the one tonight, or maybe it's not my night tonight? Have you had a moment where you're like, ugh, ain't doing too well?
Man, let's see. The thing is, like, I've bombed, but I never really like. I just kind of like embrace it. Like when I'm start bombing, I be like, damn, this is going pretty bad, ain't it, y'all? Like they be like, yeah, like they kind of get in on it. And I remember this one time I performed at this wine bar called Rugi's, and my friend, he's passed away now. He was hosting it, and I had did the room before, so I'm like, all right, I'll just go in there. I'm kind of cocky, right? I'm sitting down, drinking some Jack and Coke, ready to go on. My friend, he had like those vape pens that got like THC or weed in it. So I'm like, whatever. I'm like loose. I'm like, hey man, let me get a hit of that before I go on stage. So I took a puff. Mind you, I was like smoke weed once every like 2 years. So I get up there and let me tell you, I forgot every single word I ever wrote. Like there was other comics there. I was like, hey, what's that joke I said? Like it's like trying to yell it out. I would start doing a joke and then forget halfway through. Like it was bad. I was supposed to do 10 minutes. I did like 3. I apologized. And I was all like, man, my bad, dog. And that was just one of the nights where I was like, all right, man, you need to be sober before you do anything, like prepare. And so that was a good lesson. But yeah.
For a comedian, what is the process like? For anybody who may want to jump into this art, what is the process like preparing for a show? I mean, is it the same every time? Something different? How do you go about it?
The thing is, like, you gotta get into like a certain kind of mindset before you get on stage because it's like you're the entertainment for that amount of time. So you're competing against like other stuff is going in the bar. I perform in front of bars that got like TVs going on and side conversations. So you got to be funny enough so that people pay attention to you instead of like going on their phone and going to Instagram or something like that. So that's why I try to like tell a lot of jokes in a small amount of time because it's got to like keep hitting it. Because if you too much lag, you lose them. So that's kind of the mindset I go in. Then I kind of do what's the name of the movie where the guy, he was dead but he kept walking. Was it Bernie? Bernie, yeah, Bernie. So right before I'm going on stage, I do like this kind of thing right here to like kind of like get loose and like just trying to get silly. You know what I mean? Because beforehand I'm just kind of like depressed or whatever, and then I just kind of get into it, and then it's cool. So yeah, I think everybody got to have their own little way of like getting into that space of being kind of fun and silly, and you can't really prepare for that. That's just kind of something you do over time and just realize that, you got to bring the energy because the crowd's going to go off your energy. And if your energy is flat, they're going to be like, well, if you don't want to be here, then I'm going to just look at my phone. Like, yeah, exactly. So,
Now you mentioned going to South Carolina. You've been in North Carolina
mm-hmm.
doing comedy. Where has this taken you, and where do you hope for this to take you? How far do you want to go in this?
Yeah, so yeah, I've been North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and then in Germany, I did some stuff over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was already planning on going over there, but I messaged some people online. That's the great thing about the internet. You can find like people anywhere and just be like, hey, I'm gonna be here. Can I do a show and stuff like that? So that was a great experience because you start to realize that people in different places got different references. I used to do this like police siren joke, but then when I went to Germany, I'm like, damn, they sirens sound way different than the one in America. So like that mess, like that's just like something that you think about. And then like I was in Berlin, so everybody was from different places, people from France and all that stuff. So it's like I had a joke about like a serial killer, but it's a serial killer in America. So I don't know if they know Ted Bundy, like all that stuff. So that was just a great experience, and it just made me want to get better and do more so that, when I go travel other places. And that's the whole thing. Like I would like to, do comedy in different places, maybe do some clubs. Because right now I'm just kind of like an alt comic. I just do bars and private gigs, and I perform at a VFW in Albemarle. Like veterans of foreign wars. And so, have you ever been in one of those?
No.
Dude, it's like going back in time. They smoke in there. They got guns on them. They Confederate flags, like all that shit. And that was my best set I ever did because they was like they just wanted comedy and like I was making jokes and they was having fun and like it was a good time. Like I was square dancing with a few of them. Like so yeah, it's been a lot of different experiences.
Now, for most of your material that you do have, where do the inspiration for that come from?
Mostly personal life. I mostly just talk about my personal life. A lot of things going on. I got a lot of mental health jokes in there that sometimes people they they kind of like don't want to laugh because it's so dark. You know what I mean? But it's like these are like my reality and my way of getting through it is by telling jokes about it. So part of my set, I talk about how I'm bipolar and how being bipolar puts you at a high risk of Alzheimer's and suicide. And so I kind of tell them I hope I get the Alzheimer's first. That way I forget to kill myself. And then I have a whole thing about, you know, me going in Home Depot 3 times a week to buy rope, but not sure why I keep doing it. And, just got a bunch of rope in my house. Like it's a dark joke, but it's real. And it's just like, it's my way of dealing with something with my brain and all that. So that's mostly my focus has just been like my life. And then I try to I pay attention to like certain things that happen in the world, how we get treated differently. I definitely got some race jokes and things like that, but yeah, mostly my life and what's going on.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you mentioned it earlier in your segment that you done for us, is there any funny moments between you and your girl when you come with different jokes dealing with the differences between you two?
Yeah, so a lot of people think the difference is between us is mostly me being a black man, her being a white woman. Mm-hmm. There is some like funny things in between that, but the funniest shit happens because I'm from the South and she's from Connecticut. So our whole like way of communicating is very different. She's like very like straightforward, like very demanding, and I'm kind of like Southern. I talk around things a little bit, and all that. And she says the F word like in every sentence, and I'm like, I save my curse words for like big stuff. Like I don't just be bringing out like that like all the time. And then like she didn't really grow up in the church, so whenever she sees like a cross, she gets like scared or something like that. And I'm like, I grew up around churches all the time. Like, and she thinks it's a little odd because Charlotte, they have like the most churches, I think. Like, yeah, like it's a lot of churches in Charlotte. So she was just like mind blown. And then she didn't know what grits were, like all kinds of stuff. Yeah, like, so there's a lot of funny stuff that just happened in between that. Just northern and southern thinking, you know.
Gotcha. Uh, before you jumped into the comedy, you said I'm just gonna do this. Who did you look up to? Who did you kind of say, you know what? He's kind of give me the the enjoyment, I guess. Or I'm looking at him being a comedian and making me say I want to do the same thing as well. Who did you have as a role model like that?
Like some of the like bigger stars.
Yeah.
So leading is definitely Dave Chappelle. Like he's been like my favorite comic since like doing Chappelle's show, and then I would like see him in like movies and stuff. And then one one night I saw his stand up. I think it was it was the one when he was in DC. I always forget that one. That should like it blew my mind like watching that. Like I never heard a black comic kind of talk about stuff like that because I've seen Kings of Comedy and Def Jam and Comic View. So I love all those comics, but I never saw myself in any of those comedians. But Dave Chappelle, I did, and I was like, okay, you can sound a little different and do things a little different and not have to, you know, because mostly black comics are known for being like really big performers, like really being active on stage, and I don't know, just watching Chappelle and then getting into some other comedians that are really good at writing. I was really like, I really like Chappelle, and yeah, he was kind of driving force. And I got into like Louis C.K. and then Bill Burr, Chris Rock, um, yeah, like all the big names. And now I follow a few, Mark Normand and Sam Morril. There's some really good joke writers, but I don't think they haven't made it like big yet. But yeah.
Besides us being on stage telling jokes, where else do you want us to take you?
Mm-hmm.
Besides us being on stage telling jokes,
Mm-hmm.
where else do you want us to lead you to in life?
What else do I want it to lead me to?
I mean, I think like on TV, acting.
I'll be honest, the performance stuff is great, but being in front of a camera, like I can't even do skits, man. Like I hate it. Like I can do interviews, I can do podcasts, and I got a podcast and stuff like that. But like acting in front of like a thing, like it's to me it would be the worst thing. So it's to me I'm more focused on like writing. So I've been like getting with people that need like they got a script but they need jokes. So I'll like punch up the script a little bit and things like that. So that's primarily my focus is the writing, stand up, and then podcasts. So yeah.
So besides finding you on Garandosiá TV, where else can the people find you? They want to, book you. This coming laugh. You said you got a podcast. Where can we find you at on the internet?
All right, so the podcast is called Vicious Pineapple. We drop a episode every Tuesday, and this is kind of we kind of wanted to take it. It's like Jerry Seinfeld's his show Seinfeld with a black twist and just like very like irreverent humor. So just like silly and dumb shit, but it works well because me and the co-host, we just kind of riff off each other a lot and things like that. We talk about personal life, dating, and all those kind of things. So I'm really proud of that. And then as far as like finding me online, you can find me at I am Brian O'Neill with one L on Instagram and Twitter. And basically, I just like write jokes and post them or promote shows that I'm doing. But you can message me on there or things like that. And I'll come do a show.
So before we let you go, just wondering when the pandemic is over and it seems like North Carolina is about to open back up, do you have something lined up already that where you gonna be at, where we can come out and enjoy your imagination, how you tell your jokes?
I'm not sure because I'm not sure like when everything is definitely going to hit. And I got like a lot of, well, I don't have a lot. It makes it sound like I'm booked for 3 months. Like I don't have a lot, but I got some shows going on and I can't really like promote them right here, right now because one, I can't remember the exact dates. But I know I got one this month in Raleigh on a Friday. It's like March 24th or something like that. But I'm really excited about that one because I haven't really performed in Raleigh. I performed in Chapel Hill before, but not Raleigh. So this will be my first time out there. And yeah, just be on the lookout because as things open up, I'll be probably everywhere because there's not too many places I won't do comedy. You know, I've done it in a shoe store, so it's like, when you're in the grind, man, you gotta take those opportunities, dog. It's like because the comedy club in Charlotte, they don't really, yeah, they don't really book local acts. Like they mostly just get like celebrities because that's like an 8 room, but they don't really need us. So, so I just do, underground. I do like bars and stuff, and just try to get noticed. And I got to end with the Funny Bone in Virginia, so keep trying to milk that one. So but yeah, that's I'll be around. If they search for me, I am Brian O'Neill. Like I'll be somewhere near them for sure.
Well, that sounds good, man. I hope preferably everything goes good with the Garandosiá TV, man. We can put you out there. Always know this platform is always for you. So anytime you want to come back, test jokes out with the audience, hey, we're here for you, man.
All right.
But for everybody else, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this, share this video, and make sure you hit the notification bell. So anytime we go live, you will catch Brian O'Neill and myself in your living room. Y'all have a good one.